Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. This one I am making because I've gotten quite a few comments asking how I wash my thrifted Squishmallows, Jelly Cats, and other plushies. In this video, I'm going to show you how I wash my Squishmallows, whether they're from the thrift store or just need a little extra cleaning. As you all know, I have found quite a few Jelly Cats at thrift stores too. I have not yet discovered how to wash these in the washer and dryer just because their texture and style is so unique and I would hate to ruin them. So with those plushies that we're not sure how to wash without damaging them, you can leave those in a car or in a window that gets a lot of direct sunlight for a few days. Flip them if you'd like, but that kills the germs on them and that's good enough for me. Alright, for those of you who remember, I found this cutie at a thrift store not too long ago. He has been sitting in a storage box because I haven't had the time to wash him yet, so I figured this would be the perfect opportunity to show you all how I would wash a Squishmallow. Alright, what you're going to need to start off with is going to be a seam ripper. If you don't have one, they're pretty cheap. I would recommend getting one if you plan on cleaning up plushies or getting some from the thrift store. This is because when I wash Squishmallows, I like to take the stuffing out and just wash the outside, or I call it the skin of the Squishmallow. I know that the fluff inside takes a really long time to dry and I get impatient sometimes, and I have heard stories of people who wash it and leave the fluff inside too wet and it starts to smell a little funky, and I do not want that to happen. Alright, so you are going to take your Squishmallow, turn it around and find the bottom. On every Squishmallow, just to the right of the middle seam on the back, you'll see a little zigzag stitch here. That is the ladder stitch. You can actually unstitch this using the seam ripper, and it will only open a small hole here without tearing along the entirety of the seam. So you'll just take that little zigzag stitch, kind of pull it, and you should see some white threads right there. And you should pretty easily be able to just go ahead and use the seam ripper, go underneath just one of those white threads and pull it right there. And that'll open up a perfect little hole for you to pull all the fluff out of your Squishmallow. Now, of course, you could use scissors to do this as well. I recommend a seam ripper just because you're less likely to tear the actual fabric, but however you can make it work to open up this little hole at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and take out the fluff now. Alright, I have gotten all of the stuffing out of this Squishmallow. You can just go ahead and reach in, check all around to make sure it's all out, and you should be left with just the Squishmallow skin. Look at all that stuffing. That is quite a lot considering it's just an 8-inch Squishmallow. Now when you get to the bigger ones, like a 16-inch Squishmallow, I've done a couple of those, you'll need trash bags to keep the fluff in because they get quite a lot of stuffing put in them. Alright, I have moved into the laundry room. Sorry if there's an echo in here. It's not a big space. Alright, you'll want to just take a pillowcase and just drop the Squishmallow skin right in there. I usually shake it to the bottom, and then you're going to want to just put a loose tie in the pillowcase itself so that the Squishmallow skin doesn't come out while in the wash. Alright, time to go in. Right now for this video, I'm running the washing machine with just this one Squishmallow in it, just for the sake of this video. Usually I'll throw it in when I'm doing a load of laundry, so it's not just a whole load for one Squishmallow. Now, since it is just one, you definitely do not need the amount of laundry soap that you usually use. I'm gonna put it in just so it barely coats the bottom layer of the cup. There we go. As you can see, barely any at all, but I promise it will be enough for your Squishmallow. I'm gonna go ahead and just pour it directly on the pillowcase that has the Squishmallow in it. Well, I missed a little bit, but that's fine. Now whenever I do it, I always put the washing machine on delicate just to be extra safe. Alright, I just started the washing machine, so I will be back with you in just a little bit once that's done. Alright, the washing machine just finished running. I'm gonna go ahead and take out the pillowcase and show you what it looks like now. Alright, here he is, still a little bit damp. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I am going to put him in the dryer, still in the pillowcase on low heat for, I'll let you know how long I leave him in for, but then before he's done, I'm going to untie the pillowcase and put the Squishmallow skin and the pillowcase in separately, but on air only, no heat. That way I can protect the fabric of the Squishmallow. I'm going to go ahead and leave my Squishmallow in the dryer for 10 minutes. While your Squishmallow is in the washing machine or the dryer, you can go ahead and refluff its stuffing. I'll show you how. Alright, this is a great trick to use if you have an old Squishmallow that you cuddle a lot and it's getting lumpy, or if you get one used from someone or from a thrift store and it feels kind of lumpy inside. Now, I was fortunate enough that this Squishmallow I got is extra soft and fluffy, and it's not really clumpy, but I'm going to show you how you can refluff stuffing either way. Here is a clump of the stuffing that came from the inside of that Squishmallow. I'm just going to grab it and pull it apart and keep stacking it on top of itself and doing that over and over and over again. I can go multiple ways. It's kind of hard to do since I'm holding it straight out in front of me right now, but you just keep pulling it apart. With the bigger Squishmallows, this will take a long time, but with an 8-inch, it shouldn't be that bad, especially since this one was in good condition to start off with. As you can see, it's already a bigger sized fluff ball than when I started with, because this is going to give it a little extra fluff and just make it a lot softer and puffier to cuddle. Alright, I'll do another example. Here is just a little clump of stuffing. It's not super clumpy, but I'm going to pull it apart for a couple minutes and then show you what it looks like afterwards. Alright, here it is. You can see it's more of like a puff ball now. This will make the Squishmallow a lot softer and squishier and puffier to cuddle and hold. Alright, it has now been 10 minutes. I'm going to go remove my Squishmallow from the dryer and see how it's doing. I just removed him from the dryer to see how he's doing. He's warm and not as damp. This is a good time to take him out of the pillowcase and throw him back in the dryer for about 10 to 15 minutes with no heat. Now, by putting him back in the dryer with no heat on, you really don't have to worry about it getting any sort of damage from the heat in the dryer since it will just be air only. So if you leave him in there and forget about him for a little bit, it should be no big deal. But I will leave mine with air only for about 15 minutes, then show you what we're working with. Okay, it has been 15 minutes. And he is completely dry. With the larger Squishmallows, it might take a little more time. You might want to leave him in for a little bit longer on low heat, or just leave them in for even longer on air dry. That way you don't have to worry about any damage from the heat in the dryer. What you'll do for the next step is put all of that Squishmallow stuffing back into your Squishmallow through that little hole. It might be a little difficult, but what I like to do is after you put some in, just close the hole up and shake it a little bit, and that will help all the stuffing make its way down to the bottom and it will fill up evenly. Alright, all of the stuffing is back in. Now I'm about to show you all how to do a ladder stitch. It is super easy. If you've never done any sort of sewing or stitching before, you will definitely be able to do this after just a little bit of practice. Okay, hi, quick edit. While I am putting this video together, I just realized my tutorial is not that easy to follow. I used the same color thread as the Squishmallow fabric, which I think for a beginner would make it really difficult to follow exactly what I'm doing with my needle and thread. So I cut my tutorial out. I highly recommend after watching my video, go look up a simple ladder stitch tutorial for beginners. There are so many great ones out there. If you're looking for a video to help you do the ladder stitch for the first time, try and find a video that works for you, and I will try to create one that is even better sometime in the future. I included a couple clips from the tutorial I attempted to create. Please keep watching. I just kind of realized my ladder stitch was even straighter than the original Squishmallows ladder stitch. Okay, I am so happy with how my work came out on this Squishmallow. Like I said though, it has taken me many tries to feel confident in doing the ladder stitch on here. So now he is clean, he is fluffy, but there is one last step that I always do before I consider myself done. I always love to throw my Squishmallow back in the dryer on air only for 10 to 15 minutes just to get him extra fluffed up and soft. As I previously mentioned, when your Squishmallow is in the dryer on air only with no heat, you really don't have to worry about how long you leave it in there. So go ahead and leave your Squishmallow in until it's all fluffed up to your liking. Go ahead, leave a comment, let me know how you liked this tutorial and if you would like me to do other tutorials with my other collectible items, whether it's how to clean them, how to spot clean them. I've done that a couple times too. I will be taking another shot at making a ladder stitch tutorial. Next time I'm going to make sure it is super easy to follow and that my video is clear. That way it is the best tutorial that I feel like I can produce. But yeah, just let me know your thoughts of this video. Make sure you like, please subscribe, and as you can see, I take suggestions from my comments. I had quite a few asking me to do one on cleaning my plushies. So if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see, please comment them down below and have a blessed day. I will see you all next time. Bye!